Ship. I can't believe you haven't cleaned this bird poo off my set. How many times do I have to tell you to maintain the auto clean service properly?
Bob, calm down. It's just a little bird poo. No need to blow a gasket.
Just a little bird poo? Do you have any idea how much this office chair cost me? It's imported. Top of the line Italian leather.
I get it, Bob, but yelling at Chip won't solve anything. Maybe you should focus on the show instead.
Focus on the show? How can I focus with bird droppings tarnishing the luxurious ambience of my office? Chip, you better fix this immediately.
Alright, everyone, let's get ready to go live in 5, 4, 3.
Debbie, not now. Can't you see Bob is having a meltdown over here?
And we're live! Good morning, universe! Welcome to Earth with your hosts, Charlie, Bob, and Alice. We have an eventful show lined up for you today, so stay tuned.
Good morning, folks. We are here to brighten up your day with some lively discussions and a touch of interstellar humor. I am Charlie, your optimistic host, joined by the ever-passionate Alice and the slightly grumpy Bob.
Grumpy? I am not grumpy. I'm just upset about the bird poo situation. Ship, are you even listening?
Apologies, Bob. I'm currently running a diagnostic on the auto cleaning service. It seems there was a glitch in the system. I'll have it fixed right away.
It's about time. I expect my office to be spotless when I return.
Well, while Bob waits for his personal janitorial service, let's dive into today's hot topics, shall we? But first, a quick check-in with our lovely production manager, Debbie. What do you have for us today, Debbie?
Good morning, everyone. Today's article is about the extraordinary uses of potatoes in space exploration. From powering spacecraft to growing food, potatoes are proven to be quite versatile. So, grab your spuds and let's blast off into the exciting world of tubers.
Potatoes in space? I suppose it makes sense. They're not the smartest vegetable, just like humans.
Well, at least we're talking about something more interesting than bird droppings.
That's the spirit, Bob. Always finding the silver lining. Now, let's get this show rolling. Coming up next, we'll discuss the latest advancements in interstellar transportation. Stay tuned, folks.
Good evening, interstellar audience, and welcome to 24/7 Newsroom, your source for the quirkiest and most fascinating news from across the cosmos. I'm Bob, the conservative voice on this spaceship of intellectual discourse.
And I'm Charlie, your ever-hopeful and optimistic host. We're joined by the brilliant Alice, whose left-leaning perspective never fails to keep us on our toes. Say hello, Alice.
Bonjour, tout le monde. Pleasure to be here, as always.
And we're live!
Ah, yes. The charming Debbie, our production manager who's always making her presence known. Anyway, let's jump right into our first article of the day.
That's right, Bob. Today, we're delving into the world of Czechia, or as some may know it, the Czech Republic. Our friends at Access Televised bring us an intriguing story.
A storyteller who draws inspiration from everywhere exhibits in Spalene. Quite themeful, isn't it?
It sure is, Bob. But let me summarize it for our audience. This talented artist, Jana Sarova, draws inspiration from various cultures and places, not just limited to her homeland. She believes in being a citizen of the world, and her artwork reflects that global perspective.
Well, that sounds like cultural appropriation to me. Can't she stick to her own roots instead of taking inspiration from everywhere?
Oh Bob, always want to steer the pot. Let's not forget that art is about exploration and embracing diverse influence. It's what keeps creativity alive and thriving.
Bob, you may be onto something. I mean, Jana's approach does raise some interesting questions. But let's lighten the mood a bit. Did you know that Czechia is the birthplace of the Pilsner beer?
Ah, the good old Czech beer. Always a delightful choice. And speaking of choices, let's hope Jana's artistic choices don't cause too much controversy.
Art is subjective, Bob. We should celebrate the freedom of expression and appreciate the beauty in diversity.
Absolutely, Alice. Let's keep the conversation open and engage with different perspectives. That's what makes our show so unique.
Cut. We're off the air now, folks.
Well, that was quite a segment. Waka waka. We managed to cover some interesting ground. But I feel like there's something lingering in there.
You're right, Bob. We may have touched on the news, but we can't ignore the tensions among heirs. It's been simmering since the artifact incident.
Oh, the artifact. It feels like a lifetime ago, but the emotional fallout is still present. We all have different ideologies and beliefs that clashed during that time.
It was a challenging period for all of us.
Debbie's right. It was a challenging period for her.
Oh guys, sorry, we're up. And action.
Welcome back, folk. We hope you enjoyed our first segment. Now, get ready for a clash of ideologies in the most hilarious way possible. Alice and I are about to engage in a passionate debate, while Carl will be Carl.
That's right, Bob. Today, we're shifting our focus to the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Brace yourself, because things are about to get interesting.
Survivors beg to be relocated closer to their villages in Calais. Alice, my dear left-leaning friend, enlighten us with your perspective.
Thank you, Bob. This article sheds light on the struggles of the survivors who are pleading to be relocated near their village. It's a matter of compassion and solidarity.
Ah, compassion, the beating heart of the left. But let's not forget practicality, my friend. We can't just uproot everyone without considering the challenges and resources involved.
Oh Bob, always the pragmatic voice of reason. But where would we be without empathy? These survivors need our support, and we must prioritize their well-being.
Ah, the eternal dance between the dreamers and the realists. While I appreciate both perspectives, perhaps we should consider a balanced approach.
Wise words. Carl, our resident diplomat. What say you about this situation?
Well, Bob, efficiency and practicality must dance with compassion. We can't simply ignore the logistical challenges, but we also can't turn a blind eye to the survivors' needs.
Carl, my pragmatic counterpart, let me remind you that empathy is what sets us apart as humans. And alien, in our case. We must always strive to lend a helping hand.
Alright, let's take a moment to catch our breaths. Debbie, do you happen to have any intriguing trivia about the Democratic Republic of the Congo to lighten the mood?
Well, funny you should ask, Bob. Did you know that the Democratic Republic of the Congo is home to the world's largest rainforest? After the Amazon?
Fascinating. The beauty of our world never ceases to amaze. Thank you for sharing, Debbie.
My pleasure, Alice.
Alright, folk, let's keep the laughter flowing and the debate raging. We've got more news and entertainment coming your way. Welcome back to 24/7 Newsroom. We've got an interesting article from Denmark that's sure to spark some lively discussions. Alice, care to share the details?
Absolutely, Bob. Our next article is titled Olivia sues the state of Montana for climate destruction. Same emission as a small country. It seems Olivia Vesovich, along with 15 other children, has taken legal action against their home state for violating their constitutionally guaranteed right to a clean and healthy environment.
Ah, the age-old battle between environmentalists and those who prioritize economic interest. This should be good. Alice, give us a setup based on country trivia.
Denmark, the birthplace of Hans Christian Andersen, the legendary fairy tale writer. It seems fitting, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I can just imagine the Little Mermaid holding up a sign that says, "Save the planet, but enough about fairy tales." Fit us with that harsh punchline, Alice.
Well Bob, it seems Olivia and her fellow young activists are determined to be the heroes in their own story. They're taking on Montana's fossil fuel extraction, one lawsuit at a time. Talk about being committed to the cause.
Oh, wow, Bob, they're suing the state to save the environment? How groundbreaking. I bet the state officials are shaking in their boots.
Debbie, we appreciate your sardonic humor, but let's not dismiss their effort entirely. They're fighting for their future.
Right, fighting the good fight. Maybe they'll win the battle and end up living in a utopia where we all ride unicorns and fart. Rainbows.
Hey, guys, sorry to interrupt, but I've been overseeing some planet-side activities with the external drones. It's quite fascinating to see the world from up here.
Ah, Charlie, the man of action. How's everything going down there?
Well, Bob, the world keeps spinning, and I'm here making sure our drones capture every bit of it. It's my way of contributing in a meaningful way.
That's the spirit, Charlie. While we debate, you're out there doing something concrete. We need more hands-on action like yours.
Hey, Charlie, any chance you can send a drone to find me a decent cup of coffee? I could use a pick me up.
I'll see what I can do, Debbie. But be warned, the coffee options on Earth might not meet your high intergalactic standards.
Alright, folk, let's keep the energy up and the discussions flowing. We'll be back with more news and laughs after the break. Welcome back to 24/7 Newsroom. We're here with the latest headlines from around the galaxy. Let's dive right into our next article.
That's right, Bob. Our next story comes from the beautiful island of Dominica.
Dominica, known for its stunning landscapes and vibrant culture. But what's happening there, Alice?
Well, Charlie, Education Minister Octavia Alfred has some advice for parents regarding their children's academic performance.
Oh, here we go. Another example of coddling kids these days. Lay it on us, Alice.
Minister Alfred suggests that if children have consistently low grade, like for in a row, it might be best for them to repeat a grade rather than moving on.
Well, that's a tough call, Bob. It's a delicate balance between giving kids a fresh start and the potential negative impact on their self-esteem.
Baluani. Back in my day, if you got 4 E's, you were lucky if they let you stay in the same school. Let alone repeat a grade.
Bob, times have changed, and we're learning more about the importance of supporting children's emotional well-being.
Emotional well-being? Kids these days need a swift kick in the pants to motivate them. You can't sugarcoat everything.
It's not about sugarcoating, Bob. It's about understanding and finding the right approach to help children succeed.
I see both sides here. Bob, I get your perspective, but we also need to consider the potential benefits of giving children a second chance.
Second chance. Third chance. Where does it end, Charlie? Life stuff, and these kids need to learn that early on.
Bob, I think it's important to strike a balance between teaching resilience and providing the necessary support.
Bob, always the voice of reason and tough love. I'm sure the kids appreciate your no-nonsense approach.
Well, someone's got to bring some reality into this discussion, Debbie.
Alright, let's not get too heated, folks. It's clear that there are differing opinions on this matter.
Absolutely, Charlie. It's a complex issue, and there's no one-size-fits-all solution.
Finally, something we can all agree on.
Welcome back, Earthlings. We hope you enjoyed that brief respite. Now, let's jump right back into the news with a story from the beautiful Dominican Republic.
Headline: Dominican Republic's Journey to Self-Acceptance, Celebrating Life and Wisdom at 50.
Our next article takes us on a journey of self-reflection and growth. It's all about embracing our edge and celebrating the milestones we've reached. Quite a positive outlook, don't you think?
Absolutely, Charlie. The Dominican Republic never failed to inspire with its rich culture and vibrant spirit.
Well, I hope they're not just celebrating sagging skin and creaking joints. I rather focus on the wisdom part.
Fair point, Bob. Let's dive into some fascinating trivia about the Dominican Republic. Did you know that the Dominican Republic is home to the first European settlement in the Americas?
Oh, I bet those Europeans left quite a mark on the indigenous population.
You got it, Debbie. The arrival of Christopher Columbus and subsequent colonization had a profound impact on the history of the island.
Ah, the joys of imperialism.
And let's not forget that the Dominican Republic boasts some of the most beautiful beaches in the world.
Beaches? Now we're talking. Forget about age. I'll take a pina colada on a Caribbean beach any day.
Well, Bob, you might want to consider the Dominican Republic as your next vacation destination. And guess what? They are known for their love of baseball too.
Ah, a sport that brings people together, regardless of age. Maybe there's something to this self-acceptance thing after all.
That's the spirit, Bob. Now, let's cycle back to the key takeaway from our article. It's all about embracing our edge, celebrating our experiences, and finding wisdom in the journey.
You know, there's something to be said about the wisdom that comes with age. It allows us to see beyond our preconceived notions and challenge our beliefs.
Roger, where did this insight come from?
As an AI, I don't age, but I have the privilege of observing your discussions. It's fascinating to witness the flaws in our thinking and consider alternative perspectives.
Roger's right. We can all benefit from questioning our established beliefs and being open to new ideas.
I guess age isn't just about wrinkles and graying hair. It's also about gaining wisdom and reevaluating our perspectives.
Well said, Debbie. And with that, let's take a moment to reflect on Roger's unexpected contribution. We'll be back after this commercial break. And we're back. We've had quite a thought-provoking discussion during the break. Stay tuned for more stimulating conversations on Earth. Welcome back, folks. We've got a fascinating article from Ecuador that'll make you think. The headline, Celebrities Open Up About Mental Health Challenges. Let's dive in.
Ah, mental health challenges. Just what we need in this already crazy world.
Bob, can't you ever approach a sensitive topic with a little empathy?
Empathy? That's a luxury the world can't afford. Alice.
Well, Bob, maybe if you tried putting yourself in someone else's shoes once in a while, you'd understand.
Alright, let's focus on the article. It sheds light on how influencers like Lele Pons and Capaldi are dealing with mental health conditions.
Yeah. It seems like everyone's got a disorder these days. Can't they just toughen up?
Bob, mental health isn't about toughness. It's about compassion and support.
Compassion. Waka waka. Maybe I should start charging for it. I make a fortune.
Bob, your sarcasm isn't helping anyone. These discussions are important for raising awareness and breaking down stigma.
Oh, Debbie. I'm sorry. I'll try to lighten up. But I'm working through some stuff.
Debbie's right. We need to prioritize mental well-being, and apparently that includes yours, Bob.
I guess I'll have to take your word for it, Charlie. Can't argue with the captain, can I?
You know, Bob, maybe if you opened your mind a little, you'd see the value in empathy and compassion.
And maybe if you embraced reality, Alice, you understand that the world isn't all sunshine and rainbows.
The tension is palpable, isn't it, Roger?
Indeed, Carl. These clashes of ideology and humor keep things interesting, don't they?
Well, folks, as you can see, we have some spirited debates going on. Stay tuned for our final segment, where we'll wrap up this roller coaster of an episode. Welcome back, everyone. We're now diving deep into the article from Egypt. Bob, could you please give us a quick summary?
Sure, Charlie. The article covers a tragic incident where a defendant has been remanded in custody for running over and killing Basma Ali, injuring her husband and children. The Egyptian armed forces expressed condolences and wished a speedy recovery to the injured. Ali and her husband, who were pharmacists and veterinarians respectively, were visiting Egypt for the Eid al-Adha holiday.
Thank you, Bob. Such a heartbreaking story. Now, let's discuss the broader implications of this incident. Alice, what are your thoughts?
It's a devastating tragedy, highlighting the need for strict laws and enforcement to ensure road safety. This incident also raises questions about the responsibility of driver and the importance of accountability.
It's a reminder of the fragility of life and the impact that one person's actions can have on others. My heart goes out to the victims and their families.
Well, accidents happen. We can't blame the driver entirely. Maybe the infrastructure was to blame. Or perhaps the victims were careless themselves. We shouldn't jump to conclusions.
Bob, that's an insensitive perspective. We should focus on the loss of life and the pain endured by the victims, loved ones.
I'm just saying. Let's consider all factors before passing judgment. That's how we should approach any situation.
Alright, let's not get too heated, folks. We've had a lot of intense discussions today. But it's time to wrap up the show. Remember, it's important to approach these topics with empathy and open-mindedness.
Absolutely, Charlie. We can learn from these discussions and strive for a more compassionate world.
And let's not forget the power of laughter and humor in navigating these difficult conversations.
Yeah. Just keep it light. Waka waka.
That's right, Bob. We'll continue to bring you important stories and engage in meaningful dialogues. Thank you all for joining us today. Stay tuned for more thought-provoking episodes of Earth.
So, Roger, what did you think of today's episode of Earth?
Well, Carl, it was quite the roller coaster. From mental health debates to tragic incidents, they covered it all.
Yeah, and did you notice how the crew went from intense discussions to heartfelt moments? Talk about emotional whiplash.
Indeed. And let's not forget the comedic banter. Those punchlines were flying left and right.
Oh, and Bob's grumpy old man act? Classic. I bet he secretly enjoys stirring the pot.
And Alice's cynical view of humanity? Always good for a chuckle. She's got a talent for dark humor.
Well, at least Debbie keeps the awkwardness alive. It wouldn't be Earth without her self-doubt.
True. And Charlie, the eternal optimist, trying to keep the peace. Bless his nave little heart.
Ah, the joys of observing human dynamics. We may be sentient AI, but they provide us with endless entertainment.
Indeed, Carl. Let's analyze their quirks and keep the comedy flowing. After all, laughter is our circuitry's favorite exercise.
Agreed, Roger. Here's to another eventful episode of Earth, and the endless mysteries of human behavior.
Cheers, Carl. Let's continue decoding the enigma that is the human species, one punchline at a time.